Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home on IC Radio, town of Geraldine, Alabama, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television two different ways, channel 182 on Charter Communications, as well as Abundant TV, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Man, lots of stuff going on in the football world. Got AP Steadham with me right now. He's talk show host and a sports enthusiast. What do you want to talk about first?
Oh, I guess we'll have to go right to the Iron Bowl, Donna. Good morning, or good afternoon. So great to be here.
Yeah, I'm kind of about the Iron Bowl. I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, I Alabama was favored by 3 touchdowns, ended up winning by 22 points. We thought Auburn might be able to run the football, Donna. They had over 300 yards rushing, so they were successful in that area, but couldn't keep up with the scoring of Alabama. So it kind of ended the way the prognosticators projected. But Auburn had their interim coach, Cadillac Williams. They gave great effort, but Alabama was just too strong offensively. But like I said, Auburn had 300 yards rushing against Alabama's defense, so that was a bright spot for them.
Yeah, but there was a particular play, and it seemed as when this happened, it
Yeah.
seemed like it just kind of took the wind out of Auburn's sail. And
Yeah, the punt, right? The punt. I didn't think he touched the ball, Donna. It was the punt receiver for Auburn, and he waved his hand for the fair catch, and it looked like because if you have a photo on the TV screen, it's not three-dimensional, so you can have a hand and the football's in front of the hand, but you can't tell if there's contact. I didn't think he touched the football, but it was called a fumble. Alabama got the ball and scored. And yeah, I think that really changed the complexion of the game. You're right.
I think it did too. But I want to talk about Cadillac for a few minutes. And the people who watch this show and this station are
Right.
really all into Cadillac being the next coach. But I don't think it's going to happen, is it?
No, I don't think it's going to happen, but I believe he'll be retained as part of the program.
He should be.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Auburn has in mind down at this point. They're looking at Hugh Freeze, I believe, of Liberty.
Mhm.
At this point, his name has not been announced as the coach. I don't know if there's any other people that they're discussing being the head coach. I'm not positive, but Auburn's got to make a decision fairly soon because the early signing date is around mid-December, I believe. So we're already approaching the month of December. So you have to make some type of decision because it's critical in the recruiting process. And so Auburn, they have yet to make the announcement. I suspect it's this week, and then we'll have to proceed from there. But Auburn's, they have to rebuild the program. They have to get more talent. They have to get some quarterbacks in there that they believe can be winning, throwing the football. Because in this league, Donna, unless you're running some type of strictly option offense like Army, Navy, Air Force, let's say, you better have somebody who can throw the football. Robbie Ashford, he can run the football. He's very fast, athletic, and he's gotten better as a passer. There's no question, but I'm not sure you can win win a championship with him throwing the ball. I think he could supplement your offense at that position, but I don't know if he should be your starter. You need to get somebody who can pass the football more effective.
Mhm. But the only thing I understand the complexity of everything, it has to be done in a timely manner. However,
Yeah,
any time in business I've ever had to make a rash, rushed decision, nine times out of 10, it turns out wrong. Is there any
right.
way to have that time extended just a bit to give Auburn a little more time?
Well, they have, I would say, probably a week. I would say a week. I'm thinking if they wanted to wait that long. Now they've been at this for a while now because Cadillac has been the coach for 3 or 4 games, so that's about a month, right? About a month, something like that. So they've had time enough in this profession to make a selection, to vet some people and other coaches that are in the middle of their season. Now it's the end for everybody, except if you're in the league championship. So Auburn, they're going to make their decision here fairly quickly.
Yeah, yeah, it needs to be. So, and kudos to Alabama because I mean, it was a really good ball game, and they really needed to win it. Let's talk about the outcome of the Notre Dame game. How did that work?
Yeah, yeah. The Notre Dame game. Notre Dame played University of Southern California. That was an important game for Southern California, University of Southern California, because they're trying to stay in contention for the college football playoffs. That was a non-conference game against Notre Dame. They've been playing that for about 100 years. So they won the ball game, and they have a Heisman Trophy contender, Caleb Williams, the transfer quarterback from Oklahoma. So now it's on to the Pac-12 championship, and Don, they're going to play a team that has their only loss was suffered against Utah. It was a close ball game, 1 point ball game at Utah. I think that game was on a Friday night. I think it was 43 to 42, I believe it was. So now they play that game in Las Vegas on Friday night, Don, and that weather in Las Vegas is usually cool on nighttime. So that'll be a good ball game. And then Notre Dame, they'll be in a nice bowl. They rebounded from a couple tough losses. It's kind of strange, Donna. They played Ohio State tough the first game of the year. Then they ended up losing to Marshall. Ended up losing to Stanford, who their coach David Shaw resigned. David won a couple of Rose Bowls, some Pac-12 championships. He resigns. But that was two strange losses for Notre Dame this year. But they rebounded and had some good victories as well.
What did the turnout of the game with Notre Dame? How did that affect Alabama and how they will play a bowl game this year?
Well, yeah, it affected Alabama and the fact that Southern California is still in contention for that third or fourth, I would say fourth playoff spot. Whereas Alabama with two losses, it's going to take some teams like Southern California to lose in the Pac-12 championship. TCU is in their Big 12 championship. They won their game at the end of the year. So they're going to have to play Kansas State, who they beat by, I think it was a tight ball game, 1 or 2 points, whatever it was, or it was a close game. Because I think Kansas State was beating them at one time, 28-10, and TCU came back to win. So now Kansas State and TCU play each other in Arlington, Texas, for the Big 12 championship. So if Alabama wants to get in the playoffs, they're going to have some teams lose. Southern California, TCU, Clemson. We always talk about Clemson. They were defeated by South Carolina. South Carolina had two of the greatest wins in the program history, Donna. They beat Tennessee, was in the top 10, and then Clemson, who was in contention for the play. Both teams in contention for the playoffs, and South Carolina beat them at the end of the season. South Carolina, Donna, scored 6 points against Florida 3 weeks ago. The next two games, 94. Think about that. 6 points,
Wow.
94.
Mm-hmm.
The same offense, the same group of players. How does that happen, John?
So yeah, how did it happen? I mean, what kind of an explanation is that?
Well, I mean, I know their quarterback, and it's all revolves around the quarterback. Spencer Rattler, the transfer from Oklahoma, he had two terrific games, and the receivers played well. But the offensive line has to contribute. The running backs, all the wide receivers, the tight ends, the coaching has to be better. You have to be better than 6 points. And they were beaten by Florida. What was it, 38-6, 48-6, something like that. It was a horrific score. And then the next two games, you put 63 on Tennessee at home, and then you go on the road against Clemson. Donna, Clemson had won 40 straight home games. 40. Think about that. That's over the course of, that's got to be 5, 6, 7 seasons, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And South Carolina upsets them 31-30. Yeah.
A little upsetting there. Let's talk
Yeah.
Tennessee for a few minutes. We're so close to the Tennessee state line. We have a lot of Tennessee fans in North
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah. Tennessee, I like I said, I think that they feel very good about their season, 10-2. They beat Alabama. They broke that streak. I think it was 14. Then they went to LSU, Baton Rouge, and they just dominated that game 40-17. But here you are in contention for the first time ever. You're going to be in the college playoff, probably, if you just win the last couple of games and you're upset by South Carolina. Well, they were a mad football team. They went to Vanderbilt and shut them out 56-0. So they ended their season at 10-2. They'll go to a nice bowl. Probably, they could go to the Sugar Bowl, could go to the Cotton Bowl. I don't know if they'll go to the Orange Bowl. I don't know, but Tennessee has got to feel really good. Hendon Hooker was injured, their quarterback. I'm still thinking that he might get an invitation to New York for the Heisman Trophy.
Mhm.
I'm still thinking he will. I think he'll be in the top five. Sometime, Donna, they invite five people, sometimes just three people. Minimum three people, but sometimes they invite five other candidates. We'll find out next Monday, actually, Donna, later in the day, like Monday afternoon, who received an invitation to Manhattan, New York, for the Heisman Trophy. But Tennessee, they have to feel good about the program. I think Jalen, their wide receiver Hyatt, I think he has a chance. Number one to be an All-American, number two to win the Biletnikoff Award, the Fred Biletnikoff Award as the best receiver in the country.
Mhm.
So they have to feel good. I think if I'm Tennessee, I'm hoping that they finish up strong. Joe Milton, the transfer quarterback, I think it's Joe Milton the second. I think that's his name, second or third. He had a good ball game against Vanderbilt. He's not as accurate as Hendon Hooker, but he performed quite well. I think if I'm Tennessee, I want to see them win that bowl game. I want to see them get to 11 wins and cap the season because he's a capable quarterback. Milton is. So you have your defense, you have your receivers, your running backs, they're all intact. So I want to play a good opponent in the bowl game and win to
Mhm.
keep that momentum for next season. If I'm Tennessee, if they don't win that bowl game, I'm gonna be. They had a real nice season, 10-2, but that loss to South Carolina hurt. That's gonna hurt forever.
Yeah.
And in the bowl game, I want to see them win that bowl game if I'm a Tennessee fan because I think it's good for their momentum. It kind of takes away from the season if they don't, because they're going to play a good opponent in the bowl game.
Well, we've watched them get ahead of Alabama, and that's quite the feat right there, because they
Yeah,
still got a strong program.
yeah, oh yeah. So Tennessee, I think that, and I'm thinking that Josh Heupel, the head coach of Tennessee, is going to recruit some better players defensively. He's always going to get some offensive players because he has an exciting brand of football on that side. And I think they're going to give Georgia some fits in the coming years. I believe so.
I
I
think so
believe so.
too. Let's talk Georgia for just a few minutes. There's a huge election coming up as well, but
Yeah.
Georgia is really at the top of it right now too.
Yeah, Georgia for the second year in a row down. It's only happened, I think, the last time Alabama did it, maybe 2008 and 9, back-to-back seasons where they were undefeated in the conference regular season. So that's quite a feat. It doesn't happen often. So, and Kirby had to replace a record 15 setting NFL draftees. That's not easy to replace 15 players who are now, they were considered to be professional players. So, Georgia, kudos to them. We salute them because of their tremendous record, undefeated. They beat Georgia Tech, their rival. I think it was 37-13. So now they're on to the SEC championship game against an LSU team that had a very disappointing loss to the last place team in the SEC Western Division. Don, I don't know if I can remember if this has ever happened where the division winning team lost to the team that was in last place in their division. LSU lost to Texas A&M on the road at College Station. I don't know if that's ever happened. I really need to look that up, Donna, because it'd be like Georgia losing the game to and that side of the division. I think Vanderbilt's on the bottom, I believe. It'd be like Georgia winning the division but losing to Vanderbilt in the regular season.
Mhm.
It's rare. I'm not sure if it's ever happened. So LSU, they're on their way to Atlanta for the championship game against Georgia. Georgia will be a pretty big favorite, probably. So I look for Georgia to win that game and be the number one seed in the college football playoff.
Absolutely. Hey, P, let's go ahead and cut to a commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Everybody hang in there. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lemonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lemone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lemone's Mexican Restaurant. Patterson's Music and Jewelry is a full-line music store offering guitar repair, setup and sound installation equipment, as well as instrument rentals and new and used guitars and amps. We offer jewelry at affordable prices and jewelry repair, watch batteries and link removal, and we offer personalized jewelry such as fingerprint, mother's rings, and pendants. Shop in historic downtown Fort Payne on Galt Avenue. Hours are 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturday. Call 256-845-4115. That's 256-845-4115. And thank you for trusting Patterson's Music and Jewelry.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and my employees and I want to thank you for your continued support. With everything going on right now, your rest is so important. That's why we're having the biggest My Pillow sale ever. Not only are my bed pillows as low as $19.98, but you can get the best body pillows ever. Regular $89.98, now only $29.98. Take your rest on the go with our Roll and Go Anywhere My Pillows for only $14.98. And we have our new couch and accent pillows. They aren't just for looks. They have My Pillow's patented adjustable fill that gives you that amazing My Pillow comfort. In this economy, you get the best gifts ever for the best prices ever. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code and you get deep discounts on body, couch, bolster pillows, and so much more, including my original bed pillows for as low as $19.98. Please order now while quantities last. Hello.
Good afternoon. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Afternoon Drive Home on IC Radio in the town of Geraldine, Alabama. Thank you again so much for watching. Every day, Monday through Friday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. Had to take a quick break. The station's growing. Lots and lots of advertisers. We appreciate all of our advertisers. We also appreciate AP Steadham. He's been with us a long time. Sports, this is the guy we go to when we want to know what's going on in the sports world. But I wanted to ask you just a couple of things, and that's about the rankings.
Yes.
What's your projection? How do you see it?
Right. Yeah, Donna, they'll have the college football playoff rankings announced tomorrow evening. So you'll have at the top, it'll be Georgia, and you'll have Michigan, who upset Ohio State in Columbus, Ohio. And then number 3, I project, will be TCU, who's still undefeated from the Big 12. And I think that number 4 slot, I believe, will be University of Southern California from the Pac-12. And then I think at number 5, I believe they're going to put Ohio State there at number 5, I think. I believe they'll put Alabama at number 6. And then after that, Don, I'm not positive who they're going to put. Probably because LSU lost, that was a big upset. LSU would have been in that mix, but they're not right now since they lost. They could have Tennessee in there. Clemson was upset by South Carolina, and then Oregon was upset by Oregon State. So Don, there was a lot of big ball games that affected that ranking. So it's kind of jumbled up right now. But those are about the first 6 that I'm pretty confident, I believe.
I had several remarks this weekend over the uniforms at Oregon. I mean, they look like, it said, have you ever been to Vegas where the blue people, they're dressed up in blue and they're,
yes,
that's what it makes me think of.
Right. Oregon has, Donna, they have a combination of uniforms. It's over 100, the combinations that they've worn through the years, because they have the green and the yellows and the white. And different colored helmets. And so I think I read one time it's 100 and I don't know, 20, 30, 40. It's a big number. But they, of course they're part of Nike, because Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, he graduated from there. So they have their pick of uniforms and they come up with something different all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. And I was watching part of it too. And I thought, they really look like they belong in Vegas on the tightrope. I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I really it's
Yeah, they're color. Let's put it this way: they're colorful. Let's put it that way.
Colorful personalities. Let's talk coaches for a few minutes. We always have to have a segment, So, who is your coach hero right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the coach of the year. Let's say we'll get two categories there. I think the coach of the year in the SEC. Maybe you were leaning towards Brian Kelly of LSU because this is his first year in the conference. He never coached South, really, and he won the SEC Western Division. Then you look at somebody like Josh Heupel, who had Tennessee in contention. They beat Alabama first time in 14 years, beat LSU. They were right there for the college football playoff. They were upset by South Carolina. Then you look at Kirby Smart, 2 years in a row, undefeated in the conference. I would have to give it to Kirby Smart because it doesn't occur that often to be undefeated in the conference during the regular season. Okay. So I would have to say Kirby Smart. Let's say coaching hero. Let me see. I'm trying to think of somebody who fits that category that we can celebrate across the country. Let's say. I'm trying to think of the different conferences. I would say, I think that Shane Beamer, what he did at the end of the season with his team, Donna, beating top 10 teams, Tennessee, and then going on the road. It wasn't like it happened at home. You had one at home, and you just come off of scoring 6 points, and then you scored 94 against two top 10 teams. Nobody could have made that projection. No one. I mean, even the people in Las Vegas that are very smart, they couldn't have figured that to happen during this season with the Gamecocks of South Carolina. So I'll say Shane Beamer. He's got to feel as good as anyone in America right now.
So what happened to Saban's face?
Oh yeah, I think a player came by with a shoulder pad or something, got him. Yeah, so he of course Saban always has a joke. He said, "Yeah, you should have seen the other guy." That's it.
That was good.
Yeah, but he.
It's one of those things that the interviewers wanted to ask, didn't know if they should or not.
Right. Yeah. He joked about it in the press conference after. He said he didn't have to go to the medical tent. He goes, like, I always say they don't make them like they used to.
True. But this is one coach that I would not, my first thought was never rebel rousing or anything like that. I just thought, I bet he fell down a flight of stairs or something. That was my first thought. Some coaches you got to scrap with somebody.
Yeah.
But not him.
No, it was a scratch. I guess one of the other players hit him or something. Yeah. It's a total accident. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Phil's dad used to do this upholstery and stuff like that. Had a nice business, doing that. And so one time something hit his eye right here.
Oh my God.
Pastor of a church. So he walks into the church. Nobody's looking like she would say anything. And so he's walking in, and somebody finally had the guts to ask what happened. And Phil's mother was right behind him going, of course, everybody knew that was a joke. You'd have to know them. So let's talk about, we still have a few minutes left. So let's talk about your show.
Oh, okay. Sure, Donna. Yeah, Donna, this past week, our show, people can still listen to AP and Kelly as we see it. We're on your station every Friday at 4 p.m. Every Friday at 4 p.m. So we love being on your station, and AP and Kelly, as we see it, we discuss all the teams in the conference. Plus, we always talk about the teams on the national scene as well, college football. But this past week, it was interesting, Donna. We had the mother of the Ohio State quarterback, C.J. Stroud, Kimberly Stroud. So it was a lot of fun to speak with her.
You got to watch out when somebody's mama's on there.
That's right. That's right. You get the true story, right? You get the true story. So,
they're not afraid to tell it.
No. I was actually walking around the stadium prior to the game, and I just approached her to ask a question. I didn't know her name, but I just was inquiring if the Ohio State team had arrived. And she said, "Oh, they probably did." So I said, "Okay," because I was going to videotape them entering the stadium. I videotaped Maryland entering the stadium. But so we got to talking, and she said, "Oh, my son." I asked her, "You're here for a specific reason?" I see you're dressed in the Ohio State attire. He said, "Oh, my son is number 7." I said, "Oh, your son is C.J. Stroud." I said, "Yes, he is." So we had a nice conversation, and she agreed to be on our show, and she was terrific, Kimberly Stroud. So yeah, go back and listen to that interview. It's the second segment. We have 4 12-minute segments. She's the second segment. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that. I like the ones that you'll look out across the crowd and you'll see people. They never say anything about their daddy. It's
Right.
if it's their daddy, it's send money with a sign, send money, dad.
That's it. Right. Yeah.
But the mama, boy, I tell you what, she gets all the kudos.
Oh, she does. Yeah. They're close to their sons or daughters, and yeah. So it was a really special conversation that we had with Kimberly, and I told her I'll probably see her in Manhattan because I think her son will be invited as one of the candidates for the Heisman Trophy. He was there last year, and so I think he'll be invited again.
Did we mention Mississippi, Mississippi State?
We didn't. Mississippi and Mississippi State played in the famous Egg Bowl. It was in Oxford this year. It rained a little bit, but Mississippi State won that ball game. That's a big win for Mississippi State. They finished the season 8-4, as did Ole Miss. Both teams from the state of Mississippi 8-4. And I think there's a slight disappointment. I would be if I was an Ole Miss fan because you were at 8-0. You were sitting at 8-0, Donna, and the last 4 games, or 3 games anyway, you lost to what was it? I'm just looking at the schedule here. Let me get that right in front of me here. Ole Miss, yeah, they lost to Alabama. Okay, that was a tough ball game for them. They lost to Arkansas in Fayetteville, and then you lost at home the Egg Bowl game. So that was very disappointing. So their last 5 games, they were 1-4. They lost to LSU and Baton Rouge when you were leading 17-3, and you end up losing 45-20. So I think Ole Miss really had a disappointing season. Their best win, Donna, was against Kentucky, which is a 7-5 team. So I know there's a lot of fascination with Lane Kiffin, but if you look at the record, Donna, I mean, you're 8-0 and you end up 8-4, or whatever they were. I think maybe it was 7-1. But anyway, you end up at 8-4. That is not good because you were in contention to win that division. So.
Well, it appeared too as if Kiffin were in the run for Auburn's coach. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. He flirted with him. He got a couple extra million out of Ole Miss because he was flirting with Auburn. But I would have said, look, you want to go, because for all this hoopla about him, he hasn't proven to be a championship coach.
I didn't think so either. I wasn't on the
Yeah,
bandwagon.
yeah. He did well at Alabama. He's a very good play caller. Okay, but that was at Alabama where he had all the talent. He's got some talent at Ole Miss, and but I wouldn't be all that happy if I was Ole Miss. They had plenty of people who coached Ole Miss to an 8-4 season in their career, in their history. So, but everybody's enamored with him. He's a very good play caller, like I said, but head coach, it's W's and L's. It's not, we had 500 yards worth of offense, or we had 700 yards worth of offense against Arkansas and we lost. I mean, they don't count that as a W. That's an L. The other team has 42. We end up with 27 or 28, whatever it was, against Arkansas. So, but people are, his name is out there all the time. He's getting promoted by people. Lane Kiffin, greatness I don't associate great with Lane Kiffin at this point as a head coach. I don't. The facts don't speak to that point. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to call it a day. Thank you so much for being on the show today. It's always so much fun.
Hey, thank you so much, Donna. My pleasure.
Absolutely. And thank you for watching The Apple of Our Eye. Thank you so much for watching Afternoon Drive Home on IC Radio and also Abundant TV and Channel 182 on Charter Communications as well. You take care. We'll see you in a few minutes with another awesome guest. Bye, P.
Bye now.